That's not funny.
The Joker is one of the most iconic villains that has ever existed, making his debut appearance in the first Batman solo comic on April 25th, 1940. This iconic character has been in a constant battle with the Dark Knight for over 80 years and has been translated into every medium imaginable: comics, television, films, and even car commercials. Because of the Joker's long history, he has changed over the years, and so has society. This video essay is about Joker's changing identity on the screen. From 1966 to 2019, what does Joker's changing identity say about society? Disclaimer before we begin, I am limiting to original storylines, so animated movies that are directly based off the comics do not count. And also films made primarily for a North American audience. So without further ado, the Joker. It's easy to tell in any incarnation who the Joker is. He is always dressed in a purple suit, green hair, white makeup, or in some cases, his skin is bleached white, and the iconic smile. The smile is either a deformity or a result of mutilation. He is also continuously characterized as insane. This is the main element of the Joker, his mental health. Throughout the decades, more emphasis is placed onto the Joker's lack of mental stability. These are the common elements of the Joker that stay with him throughout his transformations. The earliest incarnation of the Joker is from the 1966 Adam West Batman, played by Cesar Romero. This Joker and the animated Joker from The Adventures of Batman are based off of the Silver Age character. The Silver Age of comics is believed to have started in October of 1956. This change in era comes from the creation of the Comics Code, a set of self-regulations put into place to control what comics would publish. This was caused by moral outcry in the late 40s and early 50s, and was only fueled by Frederick Worthman's book Seduction of the Innocent. This caused a large shift in comics where characters became more goofy and playful. This caused Joker to disappear from the comic world until he was brought back in the Adam West show.
Hey! Holy magician!
Joker became an annoying prankster causing mischief. It was a push to reclaim innocence in a time that was devoid of it.
You can call me Joker.
The Joker would not make a return to the screen until 1989 with Tim Burton's Batman, where Joker was played by Jack Nicholson. The 80s were the decade that comic books got dark. Comics have just left the Bronze Age, which ended in 1984, and two of the most influential Batman comics has been released: The Dark Knight Returns and The Killing Joke. With a return to the dark side of comics as the Comics Code was starting to lose its hold, Joker once again became a killer. Here's also where Joker received his signature smile in the form of his deformity. This can be a nod to one of the inspirations for the Joker, Victor Hugo's Le Mot qui rit, a nod to both the devilish smile and the clown aesthetic. He is also in this movie given a backstory.
You made me, remember? You dropped me into that vat of chemicals. That wasn't easy to get over. Don't think that I didn't try.
Not a rarity with this character, but it is worth noting that Joker does not have a pure canon origin. This Joker is a mobster turned supervillain who suffers from mental illness, something that will become only more relevant.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
Following Nicholson is one of the most iconic Jokers, Mark Hamill. Hamill played the character from 1992 to 2000 over several series, most notably the Batman the Animated Series. Taking place in the modern age of comics, this Joker was dark. He became a psychotic villain torturing Batman and his family. Read Batman Beyond: The Return of the Joker. His origin is left incomplete except for the episode The Creeper, and in one of the best moves ever made, Joker was given a girlfriend. Harley Quinn was introduced in the episode Joker's Favor and then later fleshed out in Mad Love. This is where Joker's manipulative personality comes into play. He manipulates Harleen Quinzel into a relationship and then routinely and obviously abuses her.
I finally see that slime for what he is. A murderous, manipulative, irredeemable... Angel.
This Joker was made for older audiences than the days of the Comics Code. This Joker follows the 90s trend of psychotic killers, a fascination that Hollywood had with the people who killed for anything but self-defense. There were also many cases of domestic terrorism, something else that the Joker likes to partake in.
The only sound I hear is...
The Batman, that ran from 2004 to 2008, is my Joker. This is the first Joker that I was personally introduced to, and is solely the reason that he is here. since many people forget to talk about this incarnation of the character. This version of the Joker is set between the manic prankster and sociopathic killer. He is manipulative, colorful, and fully intent on killing despite the limitations of the show. He is also one of the Jokers who is constantly shown in Arkham, solidifying his insanity, and he is never given a backstory. In the early 2000s, comics were trying to balance between their adult and younger audiences, which this balance can be seen in the show. Also, this design is actually terrifying. "2008 saw the most iconic Joker come to life, Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. There is no way to deny the impact that Ledger had on this character in comic book movies, as this was the first Batman movie since the disaster of Batman and Robin. Joker in this movie is a self-proclaimed agent of chaos.
Introduce a little anarchy. Upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos. I'm an agent of chaos."
Because, to him, the paradigm of good versus evil is inherently flawed. He calls into question what is considered good and what people will do under fear. Here's a representation of the fear that people felt in this time. North America is now in a post-9/11 world, the Great Recession was happening, and Bush was president of the United States. At least during the production of the movie. This chaotic time is what Joker represents. He is chaos visualized, a character that has moved away from what is considered civil because, in his mind, chaos is the only equalizing force.
Oh, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad.
Young Justice and Suicide Squad shared a similar feeling with their Jokers. The character did not seem as manic and instead was presented as more of a mobster. Leto's Joker, though, was a manipulator and an abuser throughout the film, showcasing his manipulation over Harley Quinn. In the Birds of Prey preview, this point is hammered home, showing that Harley has broken up with Mr. J.
The Joker and I broke up.
This lines up well with the Me Too movement, where female stars stood up to the abuse that they have been subjected to in the entertainment industry.
You should be terrified.
Why?
Because
I will be taking over the city.
what?
Batman will stop you? He always stops you.
No, he doesn't.
2017's comedy, The Lego Batman Movie, deals less with societal fears and more with the queer subtext that permeates comic books.
I hate you, Joker.
I hate you too.
I hate you more.
I hate you the most.
I hate you forever.
And maybe tomorrow.
The most recent incarnation of the Joker is the 2019 solo film creatively titled Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix. This film is focused solely on the Joker and primarily works as an origin story for the character. It is hard to place where this character is situated. Todd Phillips states that Batman the Killing Joke was the initial basis for the story, but there are elements of the Golden Age Joker throughout. The film has many focal points surrounding the character. From the beginning, mental health is a huge issue, but more about the fears surrounding people who have undesirable mental illnesses. There is also civil unrest that becomes the backbone of the story due to cuts to social services, strikes, and random acts of violence. Gotham seems to be modeled after New York in the 80s with its rampant crime, garbage, and gray atmosphere. This all explodes at the end when the masses break out into a riot, a scene all too familiar these days when the news is turned on. Shootings, riots, and civil unrest have become the norms for both the world of the Joker as well as our own. Joker in any incarnation is a powerful image. Everyone knows who the Joker is, whether growing up and watching him on TV or having a night out with friends at the movies. He wins awards and has fans across the world. He is a staple when it comes to our comic book culture, and because he is such a staple, he also works as a benchmark for society, a way for us to hold up a mirror to what we consider the most deplorable parts. There is no denying the power the Joker holds, and no one should ever do so. But by examining how we interpret the character, we can see how we view the chaos that exists within society.